Hey everybody, this is Home Loan Expert Dan back with another video. Today we're going to be looking at another video that was recommended to me here recently called Five Things No One Wants to Tell You When Moving to Wisconsin. I've not watched this video all the way through yet, but last week I did another similar video. We watched a video about the reverse housing crash, and a lot of you seem to enjoy that, so I figured, you know what, let's do something similar here too. And since I'm located here in Wisconsin, I wanted to check this out. Now, this is a video that was done by a channel called Living in Madison, Wisconsin. Went ahead to subscribe to their channel to give them some support. So I appreciate that from them. If you guys, want to also help out by supporting them too, that'd be great. But let's just watch this together. I'm going to pause it and kind of talk about some of the things that they think that nobody tells us when moving to Wisconsin. And I've got a couple things as well that I'll add to it. So let's begin.
Are you wondering what some of the secrets are about moving to Wisconsin that nobody tells you? Well, maybe you're thinking about moving here and you just really want to know what you're in for. That's a legit question. So today in this video, we are going to cover 5 things no one tells you before moving to Wisconsin. And stick around to the end because we'll have rapid fire fun facts for you.
All right. Okay, so this is in Madison.
Welcome to our channel, Living in Madison, Wisconsin. We are your guides to everything Madison, Wisconsin. I am Joe Marks.
And I'm Crystal Marks, and if you're wondering what it's like to live in Madison, Wisconsin, that's all we talk about here. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't forget the notification bell. Number 1 on our list is humid summers. Okay, people will warn you about the winters.
Right.
Right?
Right, and if you...
I'm just going to pause it here quickly because I guess it's pretty appropriate that they're bringing this up first. And today, let's hear if I can see on my screen. So it is about 95 degrees currently, but with humidity, it's close to 110 degrees with the heat index here today. So they are not wrong. Now we do have some beautiful summers here as well, but it changes pretty often. You could get some absolutely gorgeous days. It's nice to be outside, and then you get those hot, humid days. And when people think about Wisconsin, they probably don't think that it's going to be too hot and humid, but I mean it can be really rough, and especially these last couple of days, it's hit us. Although I will say this year there hasn't been too many days like that that I can think of. But when it happens, it's pretty intense.
If you want to learn more about the winters, we did a whole video about it, so I'll put a link to that.
Check it out.
Right here, yep.
But they don't usually warn you about the summers, because honestly the summers are beautiful, but they are humid.
Right.
We're looking at like a regular 86% humidity, right?
I think a lot of people think, wow, cold winters, their summers must be really mild, which comparative to some they are, but not as mild as you might think.
No, so it rivals many of the southeast states, for sure. And then, I mean, like closer to the East Coast, you're going to get more like 90%. So that hopefully gives you somewhat of a gauge. But it's humid, so there's humidity, plus the woods, like the lowlands, brings mosquitoes and ticks. So that's something else you also need to be aware of. I mean, anytime you have humidity and you have standing water, lakes and things like that, you're going to
Talking about that here too. I mean, I think it's been I don't know if it's a growing problem, but it's certainly been more prevalent, like with the ticks and the mosquitoes out here too. I mean, we took a walk back just the other day, and we don't have too much woods. There's a hiking path goes through a little bit of trees. It's nothing too crazy at all. So took out my 2 daughters and our dog on a walk there, and we came back, and my daughter had a tick on her. Uh, that she was freaking out with, and we, thankfully it didn't bite her. It was just crawling on her at the time. So we got that taken care of right away. Then a couple hours later, too, we noticed, we were checking our dog and he had a tick on him as well. And then the next day, we were just sitting in the living room and we saw a tick just crawling right on the ottoman. And so, I mean, again, it's not like we live in heavy woods by any means, but it's become a problem around here, too. So, yeah, I'm sure a lot of other areas deal with that, but it's definitely been more prevalent and something that I've noticed.
have lots of mosquitoes.
Yes.
And depending on how much rain we get equals how many mosquitoes we
Right,
get.
yeah. Wet
And-
summers equals really a ton of mosquitoes.
Yes, we've had a drier summer this year, so it's been a little bit lower on the mosquitoes, but you just got to plan for, like, there's going to be mosquitoes.
Right.
And we just thought we'd throw in there, just so you're aware, the tick situation.
Right.
We have, most commonly, we have deer ticks here. So if you're an outdoorsy person and you like to take your family in the outdoors, just make sure you check yourself over and your children, because ticks can carry diseases. So we're really selling Wisconsin.
All right, number 2 on our list is some of the best deer hunting is right here in Wisconsin. So it is a big deal.
Yep.
So just be prepared in November. You're going to see deer everywhere.
I mean, yeah. I've never been a big hunter myself. I'm more of a fisherman, which I don't know if they're going to talk about that too. So many great lakes around here. We have Lake Michigan, but then there's also just so many lakes throughout the state with great sport fishing, recreation, just having fun on the lake too. But yeah, during hunting season, I mean, there's a time where you're going to see a lot of people driving in their cars. They're going to have, deer sticking out of the trunks and out of the trucks. But it's part of the population control as well. And plus, if you're into that as well, the venison can be pretty tasty. So that's a big part. There's a lot of hunting in Wisconsin for sure.
We are there, like deer camp is a huge deal. Like people go up, big groups of people go up and do deer camp for a whole week. So if you want to know more about that, listen to the Youper song, 30 Point Buck or 30 Point Buck, depending
Oh my
upon.
goodness, it's a blast from the past.
If you haven't heard that one, Google that one. You'll see deer slopped everywhere that week,
So
unfortunately.
if you're sensitive to that,
Yeah.
just prepare yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be in truck beds, it'll be hanging out of car trunks,
yes.
to give you a little visual of that. Here's my
Are you
buddy.
putting it over my face?
No. Putting it on the whole screen here.
Oh, okay.
My buddy Chris's trunk after he shot a few last year. And they may even be hanging from your neighbors.
Again, it's not quite my thing. I would have maybe wanted something that makes sure my car's not going to get too ruined by having some deer just thrown into the trunk like that picture. But you know what? To each their own. And some people they're proud of it. So good on them.
Porch, because that's what happens after they clean them out. They got to hang for a while. So, so how many people hunt here in Wisconsin? It's about 600,000. Which,
That's a massive amount.
right.
Of people.
So if you compare that to some of the biggest armies in the world, we are actually the 7th largest army if you consider deer hunters soldiers.
Can you imagine that? If you just see an army of guys in camo and orange gear, just holding their hunting rifles coming at you. I mean, that's a scary sight. I mean, absolutely, that would be a scary army for sure, carrying their cheese and beer along with them.
Interesting.
And
yeah.
to give you perspective, 600,000, that's more than France and Germany's military combined by a lot. So,
Just in Wisconsin.
yeah. So prepare yourself for the winters here in November with deer hunters.
Number 3 on our list is Summer Migration Fridays.
Right.
So that means you just take off early on Friday, right? To go to the cabin,
Right.
right?
Yep.
You want to kind of take advantage.
I mean, for sure. You have to. You have to take advantage. I mean, everybody, a lot of people, they have to work. It's how we sustain and everything like that. But you have to live as well. And on a nice Friday in the summer, you don't get too many nice weekends. And so it's really not uncommon that people are getting all their obligations done earlier in the week and on, Friday morning, and then they're heading out because they want to spend time with their families. They want to spend time outdoors. I mean, it makes sense, right? If you know that you're going to have a long winter, that you're going to be cooped up and wishing that you were outside, of course, you're going to take every opportunity that you can to make sure that you get out and have some fun. And there's plenty of different options for people to do to enjoy the outdoors. Because again, yes, sometimes summers can be humid, but for most of the time, I mean, it's a beautiful place here to be in the summer.
Of the warm months, for sure.
Right. Yeah.
So
And not just Wisconsin people.
no, Illinois people. We just had a conversation actually off camera.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to explain that?
I don't know if I need to go into the details of it, but there tends to be some friction between Illinois people and Wisconsin people. So I'll just leave.
Okay, okay. So we're going into that, and I guess it's fitting. I'm wearing my Brewers shirt here today. We're in a good race here with the Cubs for the Major League Baseball. And I guess when I was younger, yeah, I used to be, I used to think of it more as a rivalry, and it definitely is. But I think it's developed into more of a friendly rivalry. I mean, people are going to take their cheap shots here and there and things like that. Uh, but I appreciate the people from Illinois as well. I might get some backlash from, some friends and other people here in the state by saying that. But yeah, there's a lot of people that come up into Wisconsin from Illinois during the summers. Across the border. We got Lake Geneva down there that's close to Illinois, and a lot of people from Illinois also come up north to do the hunting. There's Door County, there's the Wisconsin Dells. Lots of water parks and a very big tourist location as well. And you have to have the rivalry, right? I mean, when you're having the sports teams to compete with each other, right now it's the Brewers and the Cubs. We got the Packers and the Bears. I mean, it just adds to it. Without each other, it wouldn't be nearly as fun to root for your team when you didn't have that rivalry that's close to you, and you can give each other a little bit of a hard time as long as it's friendly. Certainly things can get out of hand and people overreact. That's definitely not a good thing. Uh, but a little friendly banter, I think, is healthy.
Leave it at that.
We love all people.
We do.
So we're not saying it, but
Yes.
the driving,
Yeah.
yeah, I think we have different perspectives on driving.
Right.
We're
Let's-
Midwestern conservative drivers.
You're right.
Cautious.
Right. People coming up from Chicago, they tend to drive a little different than that.
Yeah.
So there's might be some conversations that we have off the record.
Yes.
on that.
It's all good. So there's
I mean, there's exceptions to the rule, but that's the thought is that, the Illinois commuters, they come up here and, they may drive, they're said to drive more recklessly. Again, I'm not going to put my stamp on that, but, there are talks of things like that on the roads.
serious traffic up Interstate 90, 94, 39.
Right. Yeah. So if you're heading north on the weekends, on Fridays, just be prepared. There will be significant slowdowns during the summer.
Yep, for sure.
So yeah, people tend to have some companies have summer hours where they leave at noon
Yeah,
on Fridays.
like you're done at noon, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Because honestly, in the dead of winter, it's dark by the time you get out.
How's the chicken?
Oh, the prawns are delicious.
Oh, I have a shellfish allergy.
One prawn, very good.
Did I say chicken?
Of
Right.
work, so you might as well just work.
Right. Number 4, it may be harder for you to find food here than beer,
Yes.
which maybe you're not surprised by that, but
But let's be clear, like, you can find plenty of food
yes,
in
yes,
Wisconsin.
yes.
in
However,
Yeah, I don't think most of the people are hurting for food around here. I mean, I should be careful with what I say there too. Uh, but there's plenty of nice restaurants around here, grocery stores. We got Piggly Wiggly. Come on, guys. If you don't know about Piggly Wiggly, you got to get with it.
the ratio of grocery stores to bars, there are 2.7 bars per grocery store.
Cheaper.
So there's way
Wow.
more bars than grocery stores in Wisconsin.
That's wild.
We're only behind per capita North Dakota and Montana, which have more.
It's kind of interesting.
Right. So, but we have over 3,000 bars here in Wisconsin.
There's no
So,
shortage, for sure.
yeah. Many say our drinking habit came from our German roots because there's a lot of German people that settled here. However, the ratio of grocery stores to bars actually mirrors France more than Germany, which have also way more bars than grocery
France.
stores. Yeah.
I mean, I don't really see a problem with that, right? You still got plenty of grocery stores to do your shopping, and then, for your entertainment, you got plenty of options to go down to, whatever pub and enjoy your local bars, and they serve food there too. So if you didn't have a grocery store close, I guess you could go and see what they got selling at the bar.
Yes.
Fascinating.
So Germany and France keep coming up
They do.
today
Yeah.
for some reason, but
Stats.
I guess. So yeah, you may be looking a little bit harder for food here in Wisconsin.
But not very hard. You're
No,
not going to look very
there's still
hard.
a lot. Most bars serve food too, so
There you go.
there you go.
You won't starve.
Right.
Number 5,
And final.
4 seasons.
Right.
But really, there's only 2 seasons.
Right.
There's winter.
Okay. Yep. They're going to say winter and construction, right? That's the joke, and they're not wrong with that. Just because it's so frustrating here in the summers, when that's the only time that the construction companies can get a lot of the road work done, and so you're constantly being detoured and slowing down, and trying to find alternate routes and things like that. So yeah, as soon as the weather warms up, everything's nice, but that's when the construction starts, and you got to be prepared for that
And construction.
construction.
Right.
That's how it works
Which
here.
may be more seasons than where you're coming from, because a lot of
Oh, maybe
places
just have
only
one.
have one
There you go.
Yeah.
But both of those don't sound super desirable unless you love the winter.
Right.
So it's more like almost winter, winter, still,
Still
winter,
spring.
and construction.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. So
And again, yeah, that's true. There's going to be construction, but honestly, one of the great things about Wisconsin are that we get the four seasons. Uh, I myself, I enjoy the summers, but I love spring and fall too, and even a little bit of winter. Yeah, does it get a little bit too much at times? After New Year's, you've just went through all the run of the holidays, and it feels nice and cozy and warm, and you're feeling great inside, snuggled up by a fire, or something like that. But then, middle through January, February, and March, it does become rough. If you're uh, not one that likes to, brave the cold weather, absolutely. But the seasons here are beautiful. I mean, there's some uh, really nice fall environments that you can go to. I myself like to wear hoodies, and I enjoy the springtime as well. I mean, there's something said, and to me, honestly, the seasons it really does help break up the year. It's not as monotonous, going through, and I'm not saying I'd have a hard time if it was nice all year round. I mean, that would be nice too. But there's also something to be said about, especially being out of school now. I mean, when we were younger going to school, that really kind of helped separate the year up, when you're going to school and then you had your summer break. And now as an adult, we don't really get summer breaks off of work here, as far as I know. I mean, if you're a teacher, yeah, absolutely. But even teachers sometimes do some, other work in the summers too. But I really do enjoy the seasons up to a certain point. I wish I could kind of hit the fast forward button, probably for February and March for the most part. But other than that, I really enjoy the seasons, and they are beautiful here, especially in fall. You see the colors changing on the leaves. So I do think that that's a bonus for Wisconsin for the most part.
the winter takes its toll on the roads. That's why we
Sure.
have a
So
large, extensive construction season.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The heat with the cold, the swings, it just
Right.
isn't good. So we would just recommend take it easy on the roads because you're either going to be dealing with snow or construction. So you just want to give yourself ample time when you're trying to get to your destination. And don't, I've done this way too many times, so I care about you enough to tell you, don't give into the temptation to find another route because you'll find more construction.
You'll either find more
Yeah,
construction.
well, I think that's a good point. Well, especially if you don't know for sure. I would, a lot of the GPS these days, they're going to give you the fastest route if they take into account the traffic. Once you're local and you kind of know the area a little bit, that's when you can kind of make that judgment call yourself if you already know the path that you're going to take. But otherwise, for the most part, if you're like, hey, I'm just going to get off on this road, you can end up, going a whole way around, and other people might be doing that too. And it's probably best just to take a breath, know that you're going to get there, and just continue on your track. That's what I would say.
or or everybody else is trying that alternate route, and it will end up taking you longer.
That's true. Yeah. So yeah, there are times we get on the belt line and we're like,
Yeah, but just stay on it.
it's not
shorter.
worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
All right, here we go. Bonus rapid fire fun facts. Number one.
Number one, 21 million gallons of ice cream are consumed per year by Scotties.
It's a lot of ice cream.
lot
We
of
like
ice
our
cream.
ice cream
We
here.
love it
Check
here.
out
Need
Belts
to
up
up
in
that.
Stevens Point. They're the home of the world's largest cone. Number two, we host an EAA event, Experimental Aircraft Association. It is the largest aviation event in the world, which brings 600,000 people to Wisconsin from 87 different countries in Little Oshkosh,
It's
Wisconsin.
amazing.
Yes.
You'll love it. Number three,
cool.
Door County has 250 miles of shoreline, which is
Yeah.
more than any other county in the country.
Right, that's a
And if you guys will notice here too, just right up on the wall here, we got the map of Door County. It's where my wife and I went on our honeymoon, and it's beautiful. I didn't go there too much when I was younger, but I mean, there's so many areas in Wisconsin that have a culture of their own, and Door County is definitely one of them. I mean, you got Lake Michigan there, and beautiful. They got beaches. Uh, they also have, things like wineries, awesome restaurants. cherry picking, just so many cool things to go for pretty much for anybody that's going to um, want to have a good time. So there's something for everybody to do up there in Door County.
Surprised me. I thought for sure like California
Yeah,
or
it's
somebody would have
impressive.
that.
For
Number
sure.
4, Wisconsin produces 60% of the nation's cranberry supply, which really surprised me because who knows that Wisconsin
It's known for
known
cranberries.
for cranberries.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah,
That's
number
amazing.
4.
Number
Yeah.
5, get ready for this one. In 2019, Wisconsin produced 3.36 billion pounds of cheese.
Okay.
That one,
Everybody knew it was coming. I'd be disappointed if they didn't mention cheese. So I'm glad I'm glad it got brought into the conversation here at some point. I mean, come on, it is Wisconsin.
That's amazing.
everybody knows we produce a lot of cheese, but I didn't realize we were in the
We love our cheese.
3.36 billion, and we are so proud of it. We love our cheese.
It's true. So try some Wisconsin cheese.
Well, there you have it. 5 things no one tells you when moving to Madison. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell.
If you have any other questions about Madison, please reach out to me. Again, my name is Joe Marks. Here is my contact info.
There you go. I'll leave it on that for these guys too. So again, that was a cool video. A couple things of my own I just wanted to add in here. I talked about having so many lakes and the fishing. Sports in Wisconsin are huge, especially in Madison. I mean, we got the Badgers. The Badgers have a huge following. Camp Randall is awesome. The basketball team, they've had their stretches where they've been doing great too. We got the Brewers, we got the Packers, the Bucks. The Bucks. Who can forget about the Bucks here? And by the way, they talked about Madison. Downtown Milwaukee, the Deer District, is an awesome place to go. Great culture there. It's all nice and new. I love what they've done with the place. Honest, we have Giannis here as well with the Bucks, and there's so many things to do in Milwaukee. Um, I mentioned the Wisconsin Dells as well, and the Wisconsin Dells are really cool. Huge water parks, hotels, tourist things, restaurants. I mean, that's an awesome place. Couple things I wanted to bring up here too that I had ready. I didn't know if they would talk about these things at all. Our schools here in Wisconsin are very good as well. So I had the list here in education. This is with U.S. News. So it has the 50 states. So we don't have to scroll down too far here. So Wisconsin, number 6 in education. Um, number 10 K through 12, and also 10 in higher education. So we have some really good school districts here in Wisconsin as well. And I even brought up another site just to compare this to as well, the Wallet Hub, that has Wisconsin ranked number 4 overall in public schools. So we've got some really good schools, great place to raise a family. Also, have to mention this as well, Summerfest, which is dubbed the world's largest music festival. When you just search for largest music festival in America, Summerfest comes up. Summerfest is amazing. If you haven't been there before, it's definitely something that is worth checking out. They did change it. It used to be like 10 straight days of just pure packed, food, music, you know, alcohol if you're into that too. Um, and that's just an amazing thing. We got the state fair. There's other local county fairs and things like that. During the summertime, there's always something going on in the summer. And I think that's another thing that Wisconsin does very well. Since we don't have a full year of nice weather, when it is nice, we do take advantage of it. So a couple of things I wanted to mention there too. Um, we talked about the cheese. Now, I will tell you, when you're driving around the state, there are going to be farms, and if you got the windows down, you're going to notice it, even if you didn't see it directly. We got a lot of farms, a lot of cows out here. It is a good dairy state. So, again, I thought that was just kind of fun. Again, thanks for them, and again, I'll be repping my Wisconsin state here. And again, I appreciate you guys watching. I'm trying to grow this channel, doing different things like this. So if you did enjoy the video, please do let me know. If you want to leave a comment, contact me directly. I am licensed with mortgages here in the area. That's my main thing, but I like to do this on the side just to kind of keep things light too. So feel free, reach out to me anytime. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.